Hello everyone. I know I kind of promised some of you on iFunny that I would have a video up on Tuesday or by Tuesday that would talk about the validity of reading the Bible or parts of the Bible metaphorically. But before I get to that, I felt like since I'm starting to get a little bit more followers that it was necessary to kind of lay down some ground rules for the videos. First off, I feel like it's important to address the burden of proof, as that's kind of essential to every debate. When I'm making these videos, I'm assuming that the burden of proof lies on me. And so as I'm presenting these videos, I'll be presenting evidence for my position. Now, what does that mean for those of you who comment on the videos? It means that if you feel like I need to clarify something, then the burden of proof still lies on me. But if you feel like I'm wrong and know that you're right, or if you know that I'm wrong and know that you're right, the burden of proof lies on you. I'm fine if you disagree with the video or the conclusion. The point isn't to convert people, but to clarify things and to offer another way to look at things. But if you feel like that my position is just completely illogical and should not be had by any sane person, the burden of proof lies on you. And anyone who responds to your comment, whether it's me or another user, the burden of proof then lies on them to counter your argument, and so on and so forth until a conclusion is met or an agreement to disagree is met. Secondly, I'm fine if in the course of an argument you make a logical fallacy, and all I ask is that I will try to do it, and all I ask is that other users will do this as well, to simply point out that a person has made a logical fallacy and give them an opportunity to rephrase their argument. As I mentioned in my previous video, that where I was addressing the claim that all arguments for the existence of God make the argument from ignorance fallacy. And I admitted that there are a lot of arguments out there, and a lot of people hold to those arguments for the existence of God by using the argument from ignorance fallacy. But that doesn't mean that every single argument for the existence of God is an argument from ignorance fallacy. So it is possible for someone to mistakenly use a fallacy even though there is a valid argument out there. That being said, there is one type of fallacy that I feel like is easily recognized and should never under any circumstance be made. And that is the ad hominem argument, or the argument against the person fallacy. I feel like it's easy for someone to unintentionally do a straw man fallacy or something like that. But this one I feel like is obvious and inexcusable. I mean, the most simplest version of it is the "you are stupid" comments that often pop up on the internet. Someone puts out a claim and someone simply responds, "You're stupid." If you were to spell out the argument, it would be, you are stupid. Someone who is stupid is wrong in everything. Therefore, your argument is wrong. That's an attack on the person, not on the argument itself. And I think the most, kind of a more common example of people who subscribe to that particular fallacy, maybe they don't realize it, but if you think about it, it becomes fairly obvious. The Bible was written by people who believe the earth is flat. And so the conclusion is, therefore, we should not believe what the Bible says. And that's essentially saying people who believe that the earth is flat are idiots, since the people who wrote the Bible are idiots, the Bible is idiotic. And that's an ad hominem fallacy. You know, it's possible, and I think most people would agree, it's possible to be ignorant in one area and yet have knowledge in another. I freely admit I don't know very much about astrophysics. I mean, I know enough to kind of get by in a discussion, as long as people are willing to define a definition or things like that. But I'm no expert. And to assume that someone's argument is false because their understanding of an area is not up to par or on the same level as ours, that's an ad hominem fallacy. And that is the only fallacy that I will not allow. I ask that those of you who do make comments, and I know this is a tall order because this is the internet, but I do ask that you be respectful of one another. We are trying to discover truth. I am presenting my side, and I feel like I have the truth, and I know those of you who are atheists feel like that your position has more truth than anything else. We're trying to find out what side is true, and the only way that we'll be able to do that is by having a calm discussion about the different positions. So kind of in brief, the burden of proof as I'm making these videos lies on me. Anyone who is convinced that I'm wrong and that they're right, the burden of proof now lies on them. And avoid the ad hominem fallacy. Just kind of a quick announcement. As I was thinking about it, I realized that in order to do the video about the Bible and whether one can read parts of it metaphorically justice, I first have to kind of define a couple of characteristics about God. Now, for those of you who saw my Why I Am a Catholic video, I'm going to be using the God that I presented there. Now, that is the God that the Catholic Church believes in, but I won't be using the Bible or things like that. Simply from what I presented in that video before I reached the Bible, we'll be trying to figure out what we can know about different characteristics about that God, and then once we've understood that, we'll see how that plays out in the reading of the Bible. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a good day.